Today, ladies and gentlemen, is a special moment. This is our fifth episode of the Jaywalking Podcast, where we take one step at a time and tell one story at a time. Today's episode is going to be a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more intentional when it comes to just the theme overall of this episode. Now, just to kind of give you an expectation of this, I'm going to try my best to slowly speak and slow down my verbiage because it's important to sit back and actually think about what you're going to say. But also, this is a good practice for episodes like these. So, I don't know about you, but there's times where I always tell myself I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to be more productive. I need to talk more. I need to invest more of my energy into this. But today's episode, and hopefully, if you're walking with me on this journey, let's take the time to do less. Let's take the time to actually sit back and relax and just looking at what we accomplished so far and what we should be grateful for or be able to look back on and just laugh. Because I know for myself, from time to time, I am an overthinker. I always think about the worst of the worst, always have to do more and feel like I have to do more than the next person because the way I grew up, doing more shows that you're just as good, if not better, than the person who's only giving you half ass work. And that can consume you. That can turn you to like just being overstressed, over overworked, tired all the time, and just completely burnt out from whatever it is you're doing, whether it's you're passionate about it or you're doing it just to survive. Like I know for me, I just from time to time get burnt out from just doing so much and spreading myself thin, and I always forget to tell myself that I need to do less. I need to actually take this moment in and just relax and just feel naturally in my body and just taking the time to actually be not only grateful, but just being mindful of like the present moment. Because when we're overthinking, overstressed, and just burnt out by what we're experiencing, we tend to look in the past where there's a time when we were relaxed or didn't have to do so much, or we think so ahead in the future where we're just like, oh, we need to do this because if we don't do this, then this won't come together or this won't happen, X, Y, and Z, and da 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 da. It's just we forget to actually take our time and be in the present moment. And that's what the whole idea of this podcast and episode, ladies and gentlemen, to take a walk with me. But instead of fast pace, let's actually slow down. So just to give you my personal, experiences when it comes to burning out. This mainly happens when I'm like working like so much at my current or past jobs where I just do so much. Now, when I say that, this is not a knock or saying like, oh, I do a lot or I'm going above and beyond. It's just there's like a mental toll and a mental drainage from it because I know for my job, you know, working with, adolescents and working through, you know, the mental wellness and the health and just going over like, anxiety and depression, dealing with emotions all day can be so draining. And by the time I get home, I just needing to feel to like throw everything on the bed or on the couch and just going straight to the room or in my shower and just kind of decompress and just release all the energy that I stored up and gathered from that day and just being able to be like, okay, I'm home. I can relax. I can sit here and actually take my time and being able to do so. I remember this one time where after work, I was just so drained from just dealing with all these emotions from, my clients at that time and just dealing with a lot of emotions like from personal life experiences where you're in a relationship and you're going through the ups and downs, you're going through friends where it's like you're losing some friends, you're gaining new friends, and just the social battery of just interacting and communicating with people every single day, it just became so draining. So it was just one day where that was happening. And instead of like playing the video game or watching anime, I literally just put my bag down and put my lunchbox somewhere, even my water bottle. I literally went straight to the shower and just started taking a long hot shower. And it was just an amazing experience to just stand there and just kind of reflect on it, like what I experienced, to be able to then just have that and then just kind of wash it literally every single time when that moment or feeling came up. I just like had to like look up in the sky, which it was my ceiling, and just being able to like wash it off and just kind of reflect on like, okay, I'm home. I need to take this time and space to relax. And most importantly, just be with the person I, care and appreciate about, and also check in on those who I haven't spoke to in a while. Another thing I've learned, like just through the burnt out, is that you have to find something to decompress. Now, I did mention about the shower idea. That came from actually speaking to one of like my supervisors at my current job. It was a long time ago where they was at the office, and I was just expressing about burnt out, where I'm like, I'm just dealing with so much and dealing with my own personal life. And the reason that idea of the taking a shower came from, because that was his example. He expressed like, hey, this is what I do for myself, and I'm able to kind of decompress from the day. And at that time, I told him video games were my outlets. Like as soon as I got home, I just threw everything down and I just started playing the game. And it was healthy, especially when I was able to take out my frustrations or, sadness or whatever I was dealing with, like in the game, and being able to stay focused on something. But then it slowly became like, okay, I'm doing from playing video games, and now I'm going to the gym to be able to physically release like all the emotions out, because with the game like I can mentally do it, but my body still felt that charge. So why not put the two together of like playing the video games after the gym? And ever since then it's been like a wonderful feeling. But there's been times where that's not enough, and I just like have to like decompress by watching either YouTube or just laying down my bed next to my wife and just having a conversation with her and being able to like express like, how things are going. Another time where I was like burnt out, not work related, but it was mainly like with friends. Like I was just so mentally drained from dealing with a lot of drama around that time. And honestly, like I was just burnt out from like social interactions that day. What I did for myself, like I was at an event where this was happening, at a like get together at a friend's house. I literally just sat outside, like separated myself from the community, and I just like took in like the nightly sky and just looked up and be like, okay, all I gotta do is just like kind of manage this right now, be able to navigate, but also being open and honest and be like, hey, like I don't want to socialize as much right now. I just need a time and break for myself. And the people around did respect that, but it was just one of those things, like I was scared to even bring that up. But my buddy told me like, hey, like closed mouths don't get fed. And ever since he said that, that literally like clicked. I'm like, okay, I just definitely need to let people know like, hey, I just need this time and space for myself to kind of recuperate. And then all of a sudden people started to respect that more. The reason why I'm telling these small stories, and it may be a blend of like, you know, all the stories that I have in mind, but I'm bringing these points up because, it's a common thing to be burnt out. It's a normal thing. And sometimes we just need a mental reset for ourselves, whether it's taking a step away from our job, disconnecting from our phone, going to the pool and just kind of like taking a dip, going to the gym, going to the movies, or treating yourself so you don't feel like, oh, I'm just so overwhelmed. I just need to like soldier on. Like it's not worth it to deal with the burnt out, because personally, like every time I experienced burnt out, it just led to just unresolved anger, deep sadness when it comes to like my own personal self, whether it's creating that self-doubt or doubt in other people. And that can also impact my relationships or impact like how I navigate at work and my actual like work that I need to do with my future clients and my current clients. So it's just one of those things, like, as we're sitting here and learning about and talking about like our own selves and going on this walk together on the Jaywalking podcast, we need to like sit down with our thoughts and just being able to decompress from all the stress and emotions, anxiety that we experience throughout the day. Because if we don't, eventually it's just going to lead up to bottled up emotions, and then we're just going to take it out on like whoever it is around us or even ourselves. So right now I just want to kind of share a few grounding tools, or like a daily reset for myself at least, and hopefully it helps. Typically by the end of the day, one of the best tools I have for myself is writing poetry. Poetry is one of my main coping skills when it comes to talking and expressing my emotions. Reason being because poetry has been there for me since day one. Before the video games, before the anime, there was poetry. And poetry is such a beautiful art to master or even take part of, because poetry is free flowing. There's no grammar check, there's no parameters or rules about poetry. Poetry is literally free flowing writing that you can have it rhyme or tell a story. And I love telling my story from a perspective of creativity or realism that other people can relate to. Another grounding tool, like a reset for me, is, I shared it earlier. Like, I usually say gym, video game, shower, bed. And those steps and orders, I always do this to help myself decompress, because when I come home, I rather just go to the gym, physically take all that energy and pent up emotions that I've been gathering for not only myself, but others, physically push it out, go take a shower to mentally clear myself from the physical activity and kind of signal my body, this is what I need to do. Video games is like a comfort thing. I know it activates the nervous system in the brain and just my alertness and all the other stuff. But then at a certain point, like once I'm done, I go down, lay down. That again signals me like I'm tired. I need to like rest, and I actually are able to like relax and be settled with it. At least that's my routine for those steps of like what I do for those four things. Again, gym, shower, gaming, bed. Those the one thing that helped me to get through like so many tough days and just dealing with so much. And lastly, it's a oldie but goodie, but reach out and talk to those you care for, and just reach out to friends, because you're not going through this by yourself. You're not the only overthinker in the world. You're not the only one that's stressed, but your story and what you're experiencing is unique to you, and you can share that with other people. And I'm sure reaching out and talking to someone is way better than keeping it to yourself and letting it blow over. So while we're here, I know we've been talking about like my own like daily resets or what I do to help myself. I want to just go over like a breathing exercise. I just want to take a few moments out of your time to just sit with me and just listen, or if you're listening, to let's pick a quiet space and let's do some breathing exercise. Now, breathing is one of the most simplest thing you can do for yourself to keep yourself in the moment and to relax our body, because we have two nervous system, the parasympathetic nerve and the sympathetic nervous system. Basically, the parasympathetic nervous system is the nervous system that has you in more of a relaxed, calm state where the body is more relaxed and a slower heart rate. The sympathetic nervous system is where it ramps up to fight, flight, or freeze response. So, with that in mind, breathing help regulates ourselves in the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, and it gives us some clarity to then move on to what's next. So, if you like to come along this walk with me, let's take a few moments to do a couple of breaths. I'll demonstrate the first time. Now, I want you to do this along with me. We'll do 3 breaths, and then we're going to slowly wrap the episode. Okay, so let's do one together. And while you're doing this, if your eyes are closed or open, the choice is yours, and that's okay for either or. One more time for one more breath. I hope you are more relaxed now, and hopefully you are at a calmer state. And if you're not, that's okay. I want you to practice that in your own time and find other ways to decompress from whether it's work, overthinking, stress, et cetera, because you don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn it at all. You deserve it because you're a human. And that's the most important thing you could take away from this episode, if anything else. Thank you for listening to the Jaywalking podcast. I appreciate every single one of you. And I just want to say, just take care and thank you for joining this walk with me one step at a time and allow me to share a story one step at a time. Thank you guys. Take care and be safe out there.